I've hit record and we're live on houseofhoot.com. We're not live on houseofhoot.com. It's pre-recorded, but I'm here with a guest for the first time in... when was the last time we did a podcast? Like 20 years ago? 50 years ago?
Oh, shut up.
How long was the last time, do you think? Is Happy J from the Happy J podcast. He did an episode this week, and now he's got the fire in his belly to be podcasting. So
The fire in his belly is a wonderful saying, by the way.
the fire in your belly is what my people, the Irish people, came along with. The big fire in the belly, because you get the fire water in the belly, then you want to fight somebody. So our equivalent of fighting is doing a podcast, which is what we're doing now. Nice podcast. Say hello to the people, Jay. There's people. Say hello to the people.
There's people. Hi, all 25 people.
Well, that's how you break immersion. Anyway, I brought Jay on today because the last few weeks I've been talking about how much I think cloud gaming is the future, how much I like the idea of it, how much I don't give a... No swear words. I don't give a fudge. Is that equivalent of the F
You
word?
gotta say, I don't give a hootenanny.
I don't give a hootenanny about having a big, powerful computer. I don't care about having a big, powerful console. I just want to play fun games. And I know that you are deep into the PC gaming world, the evil world where I don't understand it, where people call things rigs. The only rigs I know are oil rigs that drag the water out of the way, get the oil out of the ground under the sea, under the ocean.
You know, before you go on your little rig tangent, this was an argument we had like maybe 2 weeks ago. Where you and I quote said, if you call that thing a rig, you're a virgin.
I did say if you call your computer a rig, you're a virgin. That's true. I did say that.
No,
because
but the
all of the best virgins I know call their computers rigs. So that was why I was kind of...
So the funny thing about that is that literally, if you go into Discord and type rig, the first comment comes up is, "Hey guys, you have any ideas for recommendations for a video editing / gaming rig?" From you.
Yeah, that's true.
You're a hypocrite.
No,
I can't curse.
I know I'm a hypocrite. I know I'm a hypocrite. I've always been a hypocrite, but
oh my god!
In my defense, this is my gaming rig. It's behind me. You can't see it, but my gaming rig is just a laptop, and that's all you need to play games. As far as gaming,
cloud gaming, yeah.
I know. As far as PC gaming, you only need a laptop, a little powerful laptop. Whack it out on the desk. You take up minimal space. Maybe get a mouse involved, but that's all you need. You can get a powerful laptop. You can.
It depends on like what specifically you want to do. See, this is the issue with PC gaming, and I won't go on a tangent because we don't have 7 hours. Initially, it's PC gaming comes down to different levels, and a lot of times it's for enthusiasts. But in the past, it was for the money that you would spend on a console. You can get more value for your dollar with a PC gaming rig. I'm gonna say rig.
But the initial outlay is much more. So say if we're gonna sit here and we're gonna say, okay, we're gonna use we're gonna future-proof this. So we're gonna go, okay, I want to play a game that's gonna be coming out in 3 years. I know that I buy an Xbox, I can play the game that's coming out in 3 years. I know that
you can, but so here's the other issue that I have with the consoles. I'm not a console hater. What I don't like, and I've said this time and time again to people on Discord, people and everybody, I don't like the price points at which consoles operate on. So, for example, if a new game comes out, like, I don't know, Division 19 or whatever. Actually, no, here's a good example. Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter comes out, the expansion, on Xbox and PS4. I don't know how much the expansion is, so I'm just going to pretend. Let's say it's $30, right? Okay. On PC, you can go the same day, and you'll find a sale somewhere, and you'll spend $25, or you spend $20. Now, that's already saving $10. That's great. Now, if you have an actual PC game, every time you go for a PC version, it's always about at least 25 to 35% cheaper than a console version. Console people like to say, oh, man, we saving so much money. I don't need to spend $2,000 on the PC. But when you do the math, the same amount of time you have a PC, like, let's say in the span of 5 years, the average gamer spends more on freaking games every month, every year. Like, you buy 3 or 4 games for the PC. That's a Stream Deck. That's a $250 Stream Deck. You buy a collector's edition, on the console, like a $250 Fallout, get a fake canvas bag, a collector's edition, you spend $200, $175. You do that twice in 1 year. That's a GeForce GTX 2070, 2080. It's ridiculous. That's my heart. That's my complaint. And then top of that, before it was like, oh hey man, oh you don't need 60 frames a second. The human eye can only see 60 at the top, 30 is fine. Now all of a sudden you got console people saying, oh man, 60 frames, 144 frames. That's neat, man. Shut up.
So first of all, let me correct that on the ignorance front, not on your ignorance, on other people's ignorance. The human eye can see 1,000 frames a second, so you can comprehend it. You can't comprehend it because your TV isn't good enough to comprehend the difference. So you can have, even if your PC can do 140 FPS, if your monitor can only do 60 FPS, you're only getting 60 FPS. So that's where the argument is lost there. I'm pretty sure. I don't know that for certain right now because I've just lost confidence in it, but 1,000 FPS is the human eye can see frame like that, frames, millions
like
of frames.
Matrix.
Yeah, like the Matrix. It's all down to you what you can actually output from your PC.
Look, like I said, it boils down to every time. Like I like consoles. I like sitting in my bed, using my Xbox to watch Netflix or maybe play a quick game on my controller. It's a nice feeling. You can do that on PC also. I just don't like the fact that every time I want to buy a console game, I feel like a sucker because I got to drop $65. Now, if I had disposable income, if I was living high, high off the hog, I wouldn't care because money's money, who? But when you out here grinding, I don't want to spend $65 on a goddamn game. Period.
I get that, but if you actually look at it, how much is the equivalent game on a PC? So you today you're sitting there,
most
you're going.
Most of the time it's cheaper. That's what I'm trying to
tell you.
Yeah,
but how much cheaper? Where's the price point difference?
It depends. Every game is different, but like
so if we
have to look at new releases.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Let me go to Steam right now. So if we go to Steam, is it steampowered.com still?
I think it's steampowered.com.
Yeah, steampowered.com.
Like you gotta look at different games. But for example, then you have certain companies like Square Enix who don't even care. Period. Like they have Octopath Traveler for PC. They charge $60 on Steam for a 8-bit, 16-bit game. You could suck my ass.
I'm trying to find a game that's new and is going to be full price. There's a lot of nonsense games on.
Yeah, but the bottom line is you can also get like new releases, and you don't. And the thing is,
okay, there we go. I got one. Resident Evil 2. Let me go Resident Evil 2. So Resident Evil 2, fairly really new game. It's full price though. So let's go to that. It's full price. Resident Evil 2 Deluxe Edition, £52. Sorry, so whatever that is, and £44 on just the standard edition. Now the standard edition on PlayStation or Xbox. You're probably right. If you buy it from PlayStation or Xbox, it's going to be 50. It's going to be 60. But what's the difference in the £5? Like, why? Who cares?
But what I'm saying is that it's more. A lot of times, it's more than £5. Like £5.
You say pound. This is a UK establishment.
Whatever it is. Matter of fact, here I'm gonna just pull it up. I'm gonna put it up on my end now because I gotta win this argument. Resident Evil. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Resident Evil 2.
Yep.
PC plus DLC.
Yeah,
$31.99. $37.
Wait, so why is this on sale at your site?
Because you can look at different sites to get sales. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
What's the different site? Give me the different site.
Can't do it on here, but it's legal, by the way. I just don't want to give free advertisements without people ain't giving advertisements.
Okay, so I just Googled Resident Evil 2 PC, and CD Keys are doing it for 25. So fair enough, that's an equivalency. But day one, like actual day one.
No, day one is the same thing. On day one, you'll get it. If it's 65, you can usually get it for 40, 45. Sometimes even less, depending on the game, depending where you go. Okay. I wouldn't recommend like a G2A because those guys think I was about to say the curse word. I caught myself. I'm proud of myself. But that's what I'm saying. It's stuff like that. Like, I don't want to feel like a sucker. If you go meet a lady of the night and you have a transaction, you want to get your value for your transaction. You don't want to spend like $300 and then you get like 50 cents worth of time. Like, hey, man, here's a cup of coffee. I'm out. Like, well, excuse me? I just gave you 300 bones. We need to do some transactionals.
Okay, so...
That's what I'm saying, man. That's the problem.
It's a similar equivalency, I'll give you that. But, so if we take into account the initial outlay of an Xbox, £300, say that, $300. Let's call it dollars, because you're easy. You'll get confused more than I'll get confused if we say dollars. So we'll say dollars. $300, every game's $60. Is that about right?
55.
I can't do five, so we're going to do circles.
I'm drinking Sure, a
We'll do round numbers.
Sure,
I can't do.
let's
Let's
say
do
70
circles.
then.
So let's call it 70. So we go 370 for Xbox and a game. So your PC at the same spec as a brand new Xbox would be maybe $2,000.
No, that's the other misconception.
Okay, so give me a number.
If you want to be an enthusiast, then sure, it's like $2,000, whatever. Mine is a beast rig, and it cost me. I'm saying rig, I don't care. I touch Hooters. My joint came out to about $1,550, but mine is on the top end. If you want to go lower end, if you want to be budget, you can even go as low as like 600. So
No, but I'm saying
600.
what's the equivalency? So you go, say a brand new Xbox comes out tomorrow, Xbox Project Scarlet coming out next year. What will that be in terms of a PC on the market at that time? On average,
for the sake of this argument, let's do $800.
Okay, so 800. So there's going to be a point where if you buy enough games, then fair enough, PC does overtake it. That's true. That's absolutely true.
But you know what it is? It's literally. I'm sorry to cut you off. It's literally like maybe depending on the type of gamer, and most console gamers are gamers. It's because that's exactly what it's for. PC, I can do editing or whatever, but gamers get consoles. No one buys a console for the Netflix box. So,
no.
Unless it's...
So that's what I use mine for mostly.
A dippy girlfriend. But anyway.
Yeah, so...
It's in the span of like 6 months. Let's say in the span of... Not even... Look at the new releases. Not maybe the summer, because the summer usually there's really slow. But look at the new releases for, coming in the fall. And you're using the Xbox. Let's use Xbox, for example. But if it's, you also have to remember that most gamers are Xbox, Switch, and PS4 as well. So if you combine them too, let's combine all three. But for the sake of this argument, let's just do Xbox One and the new releases coming for, fall or whatever, summer, fall.
Okay, so say you're going to buy out of those games, I'm just standard Johnny, whatever I was going to say whatever the F. I'm a gamer. I like playing games. I like playing FPS games. So I'm going to buy Call of Duty. I'm going to buy the most recent, I don't know, Battlefield at the time. So that's initially, so you say 70, so 140 plus my Xbox is... So
you better bounce to the calculator.
I can't work this out.
It literally in the span of like 6 months, even in the span of 3 months, it'll be more.
Because it will. If you have a game, if you're constantly buying, then that makes sense. But let me throw the curveball at you. If you buy
once a month, throw the curveball.
The curveball is $129 for the Google Stadia. Here's why I want to talk about the Google Stadia.
Nice lead in. Good lead in.
So first of all, we've just said Xbox when it initially comes out won't be $300. It'll be closer to $500. We know that. PlayStation will be closer to $500.
Honestly, I think that with the new technology from what I'm gathering, and they're actually
what are you
it's really
chewing
good.
Right now?
I'm actually having a breakfast smoothie. I told you this.
Okay.
The technology that they have, I would not be surprised if they're close to the $600-700.
Okay.
Because of the hardware they're using, unless they take some kind of dramatic shortcuts, which I hope they don't, because that's going to lead to a lot of hardware failure.
Well, what was the initial? Let me just bring this up real quick. The initial price of a PS4. So let me find it.
You can look back at the initial price of the PS3 when it came out. Those were going for like $600 because people were going nuts.
So the PS3 launch price. Let me get that. So, yeah, 600. So 600 for the 6 GB hard drive one for the big one. So the equivalency there is fire. So that's basically a PC. You're buying a PC at that point, and then you're losing out on the amount of. So obviously each game is $20 more. Is that what we're saying? Something like that. So you're on a $20 deficit every time. Now, Google say here's a Stadia. It's going to cost you $129 to get in. So you get your Chromecast Ultra, you get the controller, and you get 3 months of the subscription service. Is that a better value in your? So ignore the fact just before we're going to go into this, because I know you're going to come up with some stuff that I haven't even thought of. But we go. Just from I just want to get into some big blockbuster games. We're going to play them every now and then. We're going to just get involved in them. We're not a hardcore gamer. Is that a better outlay in the first place? Does that make more sense as an actual product?
So on the offset, it does, but there's other factors to take into consideration: the quality of the hardware, the quality of the controller. Because if your controller looks nice but it's terrible. That's already a minus point. Like Atari Jaguar was a it was a more powerful system at the time than all the other systems, but the controller was really the stupidest thing ever invented. I
That's an
don't know
Atari
who.
Jaguar controller. Let me have a look.
Yeah, I don't know who co-signed that controller, but it was the idea was sound, but it was horribly implemented. Yeah,
Wow.
see,
There it
yeah,
is. That's the
because
Atari Jaguar controller. What the
it, yeah,
French?
it was. You'll find something. Zach. They had but you would think with that control they would have like macro keys or something like that or hotkeys. They didn't. It wasn't even that. They used it for
That's because
HUD. It was so poorly implemented. It
like
was. I remember.
you need to throw a grenade. Press this button that's at the bottom left of the controller when you're already
Yeah,
holding the
it
bottom right.
is.
It does. That's
It
confusing. It
is.
was. Did you ever
It
play
is.
the Matrix game, Matrix Reloaded, where you had to have on
No.
the Xbox where you had to have the controller was massive anyway, and then you had to get your huge claw situation onto the controller in order to play it. So like some of the back buttons were doing stuff that you would expect the face buttons to do, and it was so cumbersome and so annoying.
Yeah. This was when I had no arthritis and patience, so probably it didn't bother me. But if I tried to do it now, I would just give up because I didn't. It was terrible. Dreamcast had a decent controller.
It's too big.
The Dreamcast controller was.
But then I
small,
was a
but it
child when the
weird.
Dreamcast was out, so maybe it was too big for a child.
The thing is, Dreamcast controller was big, but then narrow, and then it still managed to have like no buttons, which was so strange.
You want to drag a controller up as well. The N64 controller was the
Oh my
worst laid out
God.
controller that I've ever used in my life. I actually played one a couple of weeks ago, and you either hold one side of it or you hold the other side of it. You don't have the option to do both at the same time as a human being.
It's
It's just
that's Nintendo being goofy. That always bothered me. So I hated. I wanted to buy like a third party controller that kind of simulated almost a PlayStation 2
yeah, because it had
controller.
two analog sticks.
It was goofy
They did
though
the same
because
thing.
it was still like the left hand side of it was bigger than the right hand side because how stupid Nintendo 64 controller was. I wish I had a photo. Of it.
They did this, and you
It
can't
was
see
like a
it.
Mad
But
Catz controller. But
yeah,
it
they
looked
kind of changed it a
terrible.
little bit. They moved the D-pad and the. Do they call it a C stick on the N64? They
trying
had
to see
some
if I can find
stupid
it.
names. If you can find it,
I
just
think
link it to me, and I'll
it might have
throw
been
it up.
from Mad Catz. It was such a goofy controller. Like I liked the controller, but it winded up like oh actually I found it. Hold up, oh god, why is
Is
oh,
it
here
just
is.
Mad
Yep.
Catz controller?
No. It's actually it was called FS Super Pad. I'm
I got
looking
it.
in
I got the
Discord.
super pad now. Hang on 2 seconds.
Yeah,
There we
you
go. I
see
got
it?
it. Yep, we got it.
See that's what I used to rock, and that look how goofy that is. It worked out better, but I was like, oh my
It's
god,
kind of better, but you still got too much. Like the idea of they were still using the D-pad quite heavily back then. So
it's still too much on the right on the left
yeah,
hand side rather.
you have
But,
to be
that
a monkey,
that was the
like a
best.
Neanderthal growing out of it.
Yeah.
The best controller was and I still say this to this day, the Xbox 360 has the best controller. Which
I like the PS Duo, but I think I'd give it to the 360.
yeah, the DualShock's nice, but the analog sticks are. I've got one here somewhere. The analog sticks are wrong. So if I can hold that up to the camera there, the analog sticks I can't turn my whole body around, but it's uncomfortable because of how your thumb doesn't lay how it needs to. So if I can show you that on the camera, there.
anything. Oh, there we go. Okay.
So you're holding your thumb's in the wrong place. Xbox controller.
That's giving me that's making my hand hurt. Yeah, I
Xbox
use that a
controller.
lot.
D-pads in. Sorry, there's dust on this. Analog sticks. One higher up so that your hand kind of sits like this. If I can show you that there, Jay, and then
No,
the people
it's-
that it sits comfortably, much more comfortably, because you're kind of not holding your hand in a rigid position. You're able to move your hand a bit better.
You know what bothers me about you holding the controller?
Okay.
My hand swallows that entire controller, so you're just holding it like it's supposed
I
to
have
be
dainty
held.
hands like a lady.
It is ridiculous. There's a photo. I have a photo somewhere that me with the stupid Xbox controller. It's like an oven mitt over half this like 75% of the controller. I don't know how my hands are still working.
So then if we drag
yeah,
that back to the
back to
Stadia
though.
controller, it's a hybrid of
doesn't
the
look
two.
bad.
It's an exact hybrid of the two. So the D-pad's in the wrong place. Let me just move that. So if you go and Google it now,
I'll pull
because I
it up on
can't show
my
you
end.
right now, yeah.
Yeah, I'll pull it up on my.
So we got
controller.
the Stadia
Let me also
controller.
say that I hate the name Stadia. That just bug.
It's
bugs
Stadia,
me.
not Stadia.
Stadia.
It's Stadia. It's like stadium.
All right, I'm looking at the controller. It's
It's a hybrid of the two. It's nice. Now,
Yeah.
the problem with it,
Huh.
or potentially the problem with it, if you look at the
There's
side
like
of
a
it,
Duo.
Yeah, if you look at the side of it, the bumpers are kind of set back a tiny bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's stolen directly from the Xbox. The directional nubs
Are the
analog
the
sticks.
buttons in the same configuration as the Xbox? Like it looks like it might be X, Y, A, B. Or is it like
yeah, exactly the same. It's not Nintendo. Nintendo's
okay?
backwards.
All
The
right,
only
that's good
problem that
then.
I have, the actual controller looks good. It looks like it might be well built. The issue is going to be latency. So I was talking about this on a
I'm
different
gonna bring that
podcast.
up.
On Live. Did
That
you
was
ever
my
use On
issue.
Live?
No, but it was terrible. But
Yeah, so go on.
here's the issue with the latency. That's the biggest gripe. Number one, my gripe is always online. Like for example, I'm an advocate of Steam, but the Steam app is just disgusting.
Yeah.
If I'm if I'm updating a game on Steam, I don't know why, but for some reason with my brand new supercomputer, my computer is like it's like fighting. Like it'll just start lagging. I think I'm sucking up so much bandwidth that I don't know. It's weird.
That
It didn't
happens on
happen my
mine as
other
well. It does.
computer.
It happens. It slows the whole
It's
house
Steam.
down. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Steam.
it's Steam. I don't know why, but that's what it does. But it doesn't take long to update because I got gigabit fiber optic, but it's still annoying. That's the problem. If you don't have internet on Steam, you can just go offline mode. If you don't have internet with Stadia,
You're not
whatever
playing
it's
any
called,
games.
Stevia, you're done.
So
And then if you live, that's the problem is latency. It's Australian. And
what's
so
Australian? What are you talking about?
all right, so when I say Australian, a lot of times Aussie gamers, New Zealand gamers, Kiwis, etc. When we would play video games, you can tell they were from Australia because their latency would always be like 200.
Yeah, well, that's connecting to
And
your server. So let me counter that with, so they would be joining your sort of World of Warcraft based in the US server. Now, they're going to have their own Google servers, which already exist in their locale. Then the Google servers will be internally talking to each other. That's how I understand it. So the actual latency is only you to Google. There's nothing on the actual online end, I think. So if you're in like a corporation and you're using like an internal network, it tends to be a bit quicker than if you were going outside. So if we're using a Google internal network, then potentially that takes that out of the way. But
well, the issue I saw is when they were talking about I'm gonna keep saying it wrong. When they were talking about Google's new device, they were showing it, and someone actually did a freeze frame breakdown of the latency. And when they had the demo, the latency was basically 200 milliseconds, which is why I just codename it Australia. So wherever that test was, there was no Google server nearby, which is Google whatever nearby.
Potentially.
So you would either need coverage everywhere, which I'm sure Google has because they're freaking Skynet, or I don't know. I don't like the fact that you pay this fee, you don't own anything, so you're basically renting, which is kind of
you own the Chromecast and you own the. I mean the controller's useless.
You don't own the games. You just have the account.
No, you can buy the games. So it's the same as Steam. You don't own the games on Steam by that token.
No, you do. You do own the games on Steam. I can if I for example, if I do something stupid and I get my account banned, I can still play my stuff offline.
Okay.
If I try to connect online, then it's game over, man, game over. But as long as I don't connect online, whatever I had and I downloaded, I can still play. So if I wanted to be weird and download all my 700 games, I have them. I won't be able to, go online and update or whatever, but I'll have them.
Yeah. So a similar equivalency might be like EA Origin, where if you get your account banned, then you don't have anything anymore. Everything's gone.
Yeah. So you basically just wasted all that money. It's more or less the same with Steam, but
it's the same.
Steam,
It's the same with Yeah, I guess because you can actually turn on.
It isn't because
you can actually turn on and play offline.
Stevia, with Google Stevia, you gotta basically you gotta be online. Period. And if you want to buy the game, then you spend the $65 for the game.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not a bad hustle. Honestly, I don't know if it's something I would invest in just because I don't like spending money, and the controller alone is like $69. If it was like a little bit cheaper, I'd probably be more interested in it because doesn't it come with a service as well?
You get 3 months of service. It's basically it's $9.99 a month, and there's also a basic one I think that's either cheaper or free. But the $9.99 a month one is basically like, did you hear about the Playdate? The Playdate console, the little wind-up console that has like a new game every month.
I'm a grown man. I don't do play dates. What's that?
So it's basically a little tiny console, a little yellow
Oh.
console that I'll link it you after this. It's not important. I've done a video on it already, but
Okay.
we basically have like a situation where new games will come out every month, kind of like the PS Plus service and the Xbox Live Gold service, where they'll give you a game every month. But from what I understand, it's going to be an actual game that you want to play, not like Happy Chef, the game.
You gotta play what once you gotta. How much is it? Fee?
No, it just becomes your game for that month. I think it just stays on there. So they add a new game every month that you can play for free, and it just stays in the library.
What if I like the game?
Then you can play it forever. You just buy it. No, I don't know actually, because they haven't said a lot about that. But I anticipate that it will be the same as PSN, where if you like the game, you download the game, then you've got the game forever. If you want the game, it stays there. You can play it forever. It's just on your hard drive, so it's free.
Because here's the funny thing about Google Stadia. It's literally what's PS, not PSN now, but the PS has a service. It has
PlayStation
like a Fire
Plus.
Stick.
Oh,
no,
PS
not
Now.
PlayStation Plus. Yeah, that joint.
Similar.
It's the same thing.
Similar.
So like, why is it like a?
But you need to download the game to play it on.
You know, it's funny. I actually prefer that because now I know that if I'm, hey, I don't want to go online, or hey, my online is trash, I'll just play it right now. With this, you can't. And the funny thing is, even with fiber optic, I still remember when I had 100 kilobits, down and like 25 up and high. I really couldn't do anything, and it was, I could just get by, and I was fine just doing that. Like, there's people that don't have good internet and they're just left out the loop, so it's kind of irritating.
Well, they're not. The minute you can still play at 720, you can still play 720 even if you've got a really bad internet connection. So it's still possible. It's still something that you can do, but to have full, I guess it was it 60 frames or was it 120 frames that we're saying at 4K? You need to have like a 35-bit minimum megabit connection.
No, you can have that, but what's the latency gonna be like?
Yeah,
it has to be like, for example, I get most games I'm getting anywhere between like 5 and maybe 25, 40 milliseconds, 85 sometimes depending. That's it. But for competitive games, you need even less latency. So for competitive, this thing is already out the question.
You don't know that yet because we've not got it in our hands. But here's another thing that so if a game, for instance, Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to be over 2 Blu-ray discs. So that's inconvenient because that means you've got to switch between them, you've got to install them, you've got to have all the space on your hard drive. With this, no space on your hard drive, that's held at Google's end. You don't need hardware, that's held at Google's end. So all you need for a game to be, as a game developer, to be able to use basically infinite resource, you can use the best hardware all the time and a lot of storage, a lot of whatever you want, because you're just streaming it. Is that better than, because it doesn't price anyone out. Once you've got Google Stadia, you then, so say you want to play a game on Ultra on a PC at the moment, you got to have decent graphics card. So let's go with Apex Legends, for example. Even though it's free, you still have to invest in the hardware in order to get the best out of that game. Google Stadia, baseline, you don't need to invest in the hardware, but obviously you need the internet connection, but it's infinitely more scalable in terms of what we want to do as a games developer. If you want to make something huge, it's there, you can do it. So,
well, a game developer wants to make money. How are they going to make money off of this?
Because every time, I don't know actually. That's a good. Yeah, well, I guess
they're not really gonna make money off of something like, I don't see them making money off of this. And if you look at games, look at like Epic launched this stupid ass launcher, and they're giving out free games, and like people don't like, I don't like using Epic games. I only use it to play Dauntless, and even then when I'm going to play Dauntless, I feel like I just get annoyed. I don't like it. It's intrusive. It's shady, and it's not as good as Steam. I appreciate what they're trying to do, but it's, the whole thing with exclusives reeks of Sony's and their garbage. So that's already annoying. Now, as far as developers go, developers want to make money. They want to make good games. They want to get paid. How they getting paid from Google? Who the hell knows? What I'm assuming is, I bet you money Google is taking that data. They're selling that data.
Of course.
Maybe developers get a cut from that data. Because the thing is, data now is the new commodity that no one knew about. That's worth like billions and millions and billions.
Yep.
So Google's already intrusive. Google went from being the face in the story, wrestling terminology, look it up if you didn't know, to being like basically the heel nowadays. They went from being don't be evil to like they just removed that tagline and they're just like, yeah, man, it's cool. Skynet's coming. We're going to control the robots and the Google Glass and you're going to have your Google Stevia to take you over. So I'm assuming they're going to sell that data. But if they don't, which I doubt that they won't. But how the developers going to get paid? What games are going to be on this? Are it supposed to be AAA titles?
Yeah. They've said AAA
idea,
titles.
I like the idea. The idea is sound. But then what happens for streamers as well? Because, streaming.
Oh, yeah, that does throttle you. Unless one of the buttons looks like it has some sort of. So one of the games that they showed off was Ghost Recon, and in the Ghost Recon game, you could see a live stream of what somebody else was looking at on their screen in your squad. So they would probably counteract the fact that you don't have. So your Elgato would become impossible to use because you have to have your Chromecast plugged straight into your HDMI. Unless I've never tried it actually to go from.
They're probably gonna do something similar to the way that like
because PlayStation has it all built in, Mixer has it kind of,
and so does Xbox One. Even though Xbox One is terrible,
Nvidia does it as well. Because my graphics
Play.
card on here has
Shadow Play.
Yeah, you can instantly start.
I've never used it because I hate GeForce Experience. It's terrible. Don't even use. Ugh.
Yeah.
I made sure I ripped it from my computer. I just use the drivers. I hate stuff.
Well,
I don't know. I like the concept. I like the idea. I like the functionality. I like the price point. But again, always on annoys me. Internet annoys me. And I guess we just gonna have to see. We're gonna see what happens. But the thing is, I'm also tired of subscription services. Before it was like cut the cord and save money.
No, it's like have a new code, like loads of different pieces of money. Everybody wants a little piece instead of one big piece.
I have HBO now. I have DC Universe. I have Xbox Ultimate. Que se joda. I have Netflix. There's something else. That's like already $40 something a month.
Yeah.
Like there's too many subscriptions. Oh, Amazon Prime 50 something. Like
there
there's
are
too many
lot.
Subscriptions.
Because that was the big selling point.
Everybody wants a subscription.
We're going to get rid of
Everybody
cable.
now.
We're going to get rid of cable, and then you're going to save money. But you're not actually saving money because you're just spending the same money.
No. We're going to get rid of cable. We're going to get rid of cable. Here's cable.
Pretty much. Yeah.
It's like, come on, son. It's like, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of that too. But back to Stevia, Google. I don't know, man. I cautiously optimistic. I don't see myself using this or buying this for the simple fact that, like, I'm stubborn. So if it's $129 plus $10 a month, But if it's like $80 for the thing, and then
I mean, if you already have the Chromecast, all you need is the controller, and you don't need the Chromecast. You only need the Chromecast to play it on your PC. If you want to play it on your phone, on your TV. If you want to play it on your phone or your computer, you only need the controller at that point.
No, because I have Chromecast. I don't use it though because Chromecast, again, it's a nice idea, but it's just in implementation. For me, it's just irritating.
Well, Chromecast is perfect because I have Google all over my house now. I have the Google Home speakers. I have the Chromecast.
What do you use for your remote? Like an iPad or something?
No, just my phone.
Your phone?
Yeah, just my phone. When I want to see something, I just Chromecast it. Or sometimes I don't watch anything on my phone in terms of like videos. It's too small a screen. My eyes get strained and stuff, so I switch. So I just put it on whatever screen. Yeah, I'm around.
Yeah, you gotta be careful you don't go Chromecast no porno on your damn big TV.
Well, why?
Careful with that.
Who cares?
It's crazy.
Well, it's 2019.
It's the jungles of time. We wonder how I keep from going under.
So you'll be sticking with your PC.
For the most part, I think so. I might give it a try. I don't know. I like the idea. It's a nice idea, but I don't trust Google. Really don't. Google. I don't.
Do you not use them every day with your phone though?
Sadly, I do, and that's how they've lost my trust.
So you already bought in.
Fact.
So you
literally because like I can type in Discord about I don't know. I was like I don't know. I was typing about CBD on Discord, not related to Google at all, and then on my phone something pops up about CBD. No, on my phone and on Instagram. It's like, come on, son. Like,
but when you set up your phone, you agree to it. So to use the phone, you agree to it.
It's not even cute. It's like this is. I don't go. Oh, that's convenient. I'm like, you mother. It's like, come on, son. Leave me alone. You're not cute. I like to think it's some jerk off. Like, oh, hey, I'm gonna help you out. You're not helping me out, son. I'm gonna throw you in the.
It's not a real person doing it. It's just an algorithm.
It doesn't matter. In my head, it's a real person. I'm gonna beat him up.
Reading all your stuff.
Beat everybody up.
Okay.
I don't care who it is. To get beat up.
I still think Stadia is a good idea. You hate you like the idea. You don't think the implementation is going to be there. But that's
For
all we needed
people,
to talk about.
yeah, for people with if you got good internet, you great. But like, not everybody has good internet, so who knows? I'm just waiting to see a homeless dude outside playing Stevie on his phone, just having a
I
good
saw a
old
homeless
time.
dude with the big iPhone, the iPhone 10X, the big iPhone. I don't know what
Yeah,
the
shout out
normal
to
number
homeless
is
people who have better technology and sneakers than I do. I love seeing that.
because they're not homeless.
It
They're just begging. There's a
makes
difference.
me wanna rob them dead ass. Like word, wait, those 11, those Jordan 4s, they 11, my man. Let me. Oh, that's nice. Where you get that from? That's nice. Can I try them more? Thanks, son.
And then you run
Ah, there.
for four blocks maybe, and then you die, collapse, it's all over for you.
Nah, I'll just do a spinning back fist.
Okay,
Judas effect.
well, let's get out of here because we've been here for 35 minutes. So thank you
You're
for
welcome.
watching. Thank you for being on the podcast. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all at House of Hoot, and subscribe on the YouTube channel. We got more of this kind of stuff coming up. It's mostly with me. Sometimes I have a guest on, sometimes I don't. And I do unboxings. I do all the cool stuff, all the stuff that you might like. So stick around. We're going to be building
Yeah,
more stuff.
support him.
Support
Because
us.
if you don't, he'll be abusive to me.
I won't be. I will be abusive to you. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Have it easy. Take it easy.
Bye.